My job is not to tell you what a good leader looks like. My job is to tell you what you look like as a good leader. So I think similarly, your job is to get on stage and tell me what good faith looks like. Your job is to tell me what I look like with good faith. Every great leader you admire, no matter how much success they show, has something they're still working through. Today, we're not talking about the version of them you already know. We're talking about the version they don't always show.
None of this is on accident, of all these conversations, you know what I mean? But this morning, I was in our men's small group for my church, and guy that shared today, he shared an interesting statement. He's like, men, typically we present our strengths, but we really only have connection through our vulnerability, through our authenticity. So, and I think, for whatever reason, I felt the nudge to take this leap of faith to start my podcast, this new business, and uncharted the unknown, which has been a joy. It's been a very unconventional path because typically a lot of times people have already quote unquote made it, whatever made it is, whatever, they have their own and listen, I've been able to do some really cool stuff too over the past decade. Still got a long way to go. I'm still growing, still pushing forward. Still got some dreams in my heart. I'm going after. Obviously that doesn't make me, but still have things I'm pursuing. It's typically the opposite of honestly, how I even position Faith Hustle is not, look how smart Mukwenda is. I literally position it of hey, I'm learning just with you. Hey, I'm bringing these people in. I'm taking notes just as you are. And I think what you said of what I'm going to take on tour, I think that is refreshing of I don't have the story, and I can say this humbly. I don't have the story of man, Mukwenda was so smart. He figured it out. He was so strategic. And man, look at where he's at. And
what do you have? Because nobody does.
Yeah.
We just all pretend that we do.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the story of strategic insight that led you perfectly to the plan to have a podcast by which would lead to a tour with a partner and a friend to married, the creative and commerce and the connection of how that matches Christianity across we could alliterate for the end of days. If that's not what you have, what do you have?
I mean, hilariously enough, I have faith. I have guts. The willingness to try.
Faith just became synonymous with the willingness to try. In 31 minutes and 41 seconds, you went from telling me that faith was equal to the ability to have it perfected because there was no chance of failure to telling me that faith is defined as the ability to try.
Dang. Zach, I just changed my own definition. My goodness.
You follow me?
I'm following you. We here.
So that's the thread, though.
Yeah.
For me, and this is not because I think that I'm right. I'm just trying to listen.
Yeah.
But to me, that's the thread that I think so often gets missed in faith, in business, in life, in marriage, in parenting, in relationships, and with our parents, pick it someplace. It gets missed because we so badly want to be right. Not because we don't want to be wrong, but because we don't want to not be loved. I think our pursuit of right has nothing to do with the opposite of wrong. I think our pursuit of right has everything to do with being loved. To be wrong is to be discarded. To be wrong is to be rejected. To be wrong is to set yourself up for the opportunity for someone to walk away. But to be right is to give a reason that if you walk away from me, it was your fault because I was right.
Man.
But I don't actually think right helps us.
Yeah.
I don't think it solves anything.
Yeah.
Right? I think this is a little dramatic, but whatever the meme is, it goes around. You can be right or you can be loved, but you can't be both. Now, I think that's dramatic because a lot of times I'm loved and I do think I'm right also. But that's not the point. I don't think that it's always, right?
Yeah.
So I think a part of that is people don't want to come to the tour. We're going to go back to that just because that's sort of our central thing. They don't want to come to a tour so they can go look to people who think they're right.
Yeah.
They want to go on a tour to go with people who just think that they're human.
Yeah.
They want to go on tour with someone who thinks that maybe the person on stage with a microphone maybe looks and acts like me.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't want to get out of my bed in Atlanta this morning, but I did.
Yeah.
Because I was willing to try.
Mm.
And we call that faith.
Mm.
And if I can do it for 2 days consecutively, we call that hustle.
Ooh, my God.
You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're saying the ability to get out of bed for 2 days consecutively at our very best is faith hustle.
Wow.
And if there's a day that you can't, guess what? You're going to be all right.
Yeah.
We didn't call it failure.
Mm.
We get to wake up and we get to try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
On repeat for as many days as I could possibly have.
Yeah.
And if that is what I get to go to in Atlanta, in Philly, and in Plano, and in Dallas, and in Richardson, is a place to land that someone there says, with God, not for God.
Yeah.
I get to try.
Mm.
And I get to do it again and again.
Mm.
I think I could sign up for that.
Yeah.
But if you need me to be right, and if you need me to be perfect, and if you need me to always be at full adequacy for your approval,
yeah,
there's no place for me to land.
Yeah. If I can be honest, I think there has been a secret. I can truthfully say, I don't think it is not the driving motive, but there's been something in the back of my head that I can say, honestly, I don't like. It pops this ugly head every once in a while, a thought.
Sure.
That I don't like. That, part of the tour and it goes well. You know, you have a lot of people who, you know, like again, and really it's here.
Yeah.
Right?
But just say it. Say it.
That, man, I want to be proven right. What you said of like that. Hey, I wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
This worked. This works.
But
I'm on the right path.
Yeah. But all of that is still dependent on me.
Right. Yeah.
And so if you think, these are your words, not mine, if you think that God asked you to do something so that I would be happy with it, then do it for that reason. Mm-hmm. And that's not loaded. If that legitimately is the case, then by all means, come and make me happy.
Right.
But if that's not what he asked you to do, if he asked you to try 2 days in a row, go do that.
Yeah.
And invite me into that.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, and I'm not saying that the latter is correct. That's not what I'm saying. I'll be very clear. But there can only be so many options.
Right.
So if the sneaky thing in our mind we want to attempt to eliminate as often as possible is the thing we want to eliminate is the fact that we're doing this so that somebody else we can say, you see, I was right. Mm-hmm. I can tell you what they're not seeing, that you were right, because they don't care.
They're not up at night thinking about
it. They just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
And those that don't believe it's possible, don't lack the capacity to see you. They simply lack the ability to believe. We would say they just have not yet given themselves a chance to try.
Faith. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Even over this past year and a half, I've learned so much about myself, and not everyone, should start a business, but in all of our different ways, I think there are aspects where we should be stretched to some capacity, because you don't really know what's in you until it gets stretched.
I agree.
Not just in your capacity, at least for me, of what you can do, but like, oh man, there's some stuff in here I didn't know. There's some insecurities I didn't know they're in there, and obviously that makes us human. But like, I never get to wrestle with it.
That's right.
I would have never gotten to be able to wrestle with this thing in me that is very normal, but I just didn't see to this capacity until now, where I feel God asked me to do something that feels impossible to me, and I have the willingness to try.
That's right.
I would have never seen.
Right. But did God ask you to do it perfectly, or did he ask you to try?
He asked me to try.
So show up.
Yeah.
I mean, easier said than done. I'm with you. It's easier to be on this side and tell you to show up. But I'm just saying, so show up.
Yeah.
So let your portion when you get on stage in Atlanta. Oh no, what's the first city you're going to?
Actually, Dallas.
Dallas. Okay. Yeah. So when you get back on stage in Dallas, whenever the next one is, your portion should be called the Wrestle. And you should get on stage and whatever it is you're going to say and you're going to invite people to and you're going to, I would present them with, this is where the Faith Hustle Tour. We believe that faith is the attempt to try and hustle is 2 days in a row. And today I'd love to just, if you give me 10 minutes, I'd love to talk to you about something I'm discovering for myself. And it's the wrestle. It's the reality that two things are always at war with one another, but they're at war with one another so they can both make one another true, not because they're trying to be right.
Do I need to license that from you?
No, that's yours. That's free. That's free. I'll give you that one free.
Just want to make sure that I can.
Maybe let me write the forward in the book or something. If that's what, if you're going to release the Wrestle, then let me write the forward. But outside of that, I'll give it to you. That's my payment for being on the show. But
I'll start the talk like, it's one thing I've always said.
Yeah.
It's faith is the willingness to try. The hustle is doing it 2 days in a row.
Yeah. I think you should. Those are your words, not mine.
Yeah.
I took everything that you already knew to be true about who you are. I gave it back to you in a way so you could finally hear it from somebody else's lens. And you went, oh, that does sound like me. Correct, because it was you. I'm gonna use the frame of leadership for a second, just because that's sort of the premise of what we do.
Yeah.
That's the to me, this is the difference. And I'm going to give you a leadership tactic. And if somebody wants to make this faith perspective on their own, they can, but that's not my intent. I'm very clear about that if people are listening. But I believe my job as a coach, as a consultant, as a human being, and as a leader in the development of people, my job is not to tell you what you look like. My job is not to tell you what a good leader looks like. My job is to tell you what you look like as a good leader. So I think similarly, your job is to get on stage and tell me what good faith looks like. Your job is to tell me what I look like with good faith. And I look like a person that tries 2 days in a row. That can be molded into any human being that exists in any place with any belief in anywhere at any time. But to get on stage to pontificate to me what you think faith is supposed to be, and if I'm not doing it, that's why my business is not successful, I'm not coming to that tour. But the tour that tells me that there's a chance.
Yeah.
A tour that tells me to try. A tour that tells me that, hey, there's an opportunity for me to give it a go 2 days in a row. Okay. And so I would encourage you, this is 100% my opinion, you're going to do whatever you want. For me to get on stage in front of AT&T and tell them what I pontificate, what I believe a good leader to be. And if they could be like that, because that's me, you too could be successful. Sounds to me like another human being getting on stage and telling me what it looks like to have faith. Because if I had faith like them, then maybe too I could work here. And I think both of those people are full of shit.
Yeah.
But a human being who says, here's some understanding I have about what it means to have faith. Here's what I've discovered it looks like. And here's what I believe you could look like if you had it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a reason for all of this experience, all these lessons I'm learning. I do believe this is what I will pass on, not just the really pretty moments, but all of it. And to be able to share, because I think that is what resonates the most. I anytime I share the events that I've had, anytime I share like testimony of how God came through, where it's like, man, like I thought I was on the verge of quitting or I was on the verge of getting up. Those, I always get the most response to those. And it's like, and it's perception is such an interesting thing, because I have my perception of myself. Someone else has a whole different perception of me.
That's right.
And the moment where I let my guard down, people are like, oh man, I just thought you were just relentless and that you were just crushing it and nothing went wrong. I'm like, what do you mean? Like what world do you live in? But like perception,
that's right.
You know, it's like, and I want to be doing this for a long time. And I see now more than ever, I get a moment to choose how I want to do it.
That's right.
I can do it and just fake it. And we see what that does to leaders all the time. I've seen it, what it does to my clients. I've seen it, what it does to thought leaders of like, you can only put up an act for so long. That's right. And if you don't show people your scars and you just makes them feel like you're invincible. When inevitably you do, come crumbling down, it creates a lot of pain for you and a lot of other people because you put yourself in a position where it's like it was unnecessary. And matter of fact, I posted on Instagram a few weeks ago of like posture matters. If you stay on your knees, it's an easier fall. Like if you fall, like it's not as much of a harder, if you already humble yourself, if you're not putting yourself like, William Ryan, he's been on my show before. Love him. He taught me the concept of when you go into a room, you don't be the here I am person, be the there you are. I see you. Like, don't come in being like, I love that. Oh, I'm the star. Thank you for coming to the Mukwenda show. Come in holding towels, ready to serve.
But I think that's only possible when that person walks in the room and their cup is full.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would say they're walking in the room and they think they're serving, but they're actually sacrificing. And those people fall just as hard because they get mad that you didn't recognize I did the thing for you that I was supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so as a
cat, it's got to be out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Let me ask you this for some reason, this pops in my head. So, and then you can take a good awkward silence to think about it if you want to. Unless you know, then you can spit it out. But
absolutely.
Rush. If there was one thing about you that you hoped every person who came to this tour knew that you feel like currently gets missed, what is that thing? That when they leave, they think, oh, Mukwenda.
One thing they didn't know about me that often gets missed.
That you wish people saw more often.
Yeah, you wish people saw. I would say the thing I hope they would see that I think gets missed is my genuineness. I genuinely love people. I genuinely love God, and because I love God, I love people. God's given me a burden for these people who are coming. I pray for them daily. I think about them all the time. I not just think about them where they're at right now. I see them 20 years down the road with their families and the life I desire that they walk in of whatever they're building, that they can build it on the right foundation, that they'll still be married, still, and like, they'll still, they won't be jerks, that people, they can have high character. They can stand 10 tones down on integrity and be people of humility. They can be generous, that they can live full lives, that glorify God. And the reason why I say I guess why I want people to see that is I'm in a space of podcasting, business education where you sniff BS all the time. I'm just like, all right, what's the catch? There's always a what's the catch moment. Oh, you're doing this just for this, to sell this program or to this. And I mean, I've had people tell me I'm a prosperity gospel guy. They've said so many crazy things that are like absolutely not true. Like if you spent 2 seconds with me, I would be able to, and I also have learned this year how much there's people pleasing tendencies in me. And that's been fun to explore. And
maybe we'll get into that in our next episode.
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole nother episode. But not even for the sake of like wanting people to like me.
I'm with you.
But just like it is possible to be genuine.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect, but this is my genuine heart. Yeah. I want to have a night to pour back into people.
Okay, I love that. And therefore, if the thing about you that you feel like most often gets missed, that you would desire for others to see most, is that you are genuine and you are who you are, I cannot encourage you enough then to show me all of it. And even though you feel it all, and you sit with it all and you recognize it all. And it feels like to us, oftentimes we're sharing most of it. I would say the reason it gets missed is because I can't see all of it. With guidance, with wisdom, with your ability to navigate what then to be discerning and all the things we need to be when it comes to sharing portions of our life. But if we have actively chosen to be an influence in other people's lives by portraying our own, then show all of it. I had a guest a couple of weeks ago, and the phrase we said in was to show you're human. Faith is the ability to try, which means I need to see every attempt. And give me every attempt 2 days in a row. And I guarantee you, one day will be good and one day will not. But the collection of my belief on the good day and my doubt on the bad, that belief plus doubt equals faith. 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row.
Yeah. I appreciate you, sir.
Man, I feel like I need to pay you.
Thanks for being with us. Thank you.
I'm grateful to be here, man. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. If you ever feel like this tension of good and bad, right and wrong, I got to have it together, but I really want to show failure. I want to be genuine. I'm not sure I lead people and I feel the need to have authority and to be right. And simultaneously, I think I got to connect in a better way. And I'm not sure how. I would love if you have felt any of these things to join me this month for my leadership training. You can go to rockygarza.com/confidence. We are going to talk through what we call the 5 silent killers of leadership, the identity mask, the performance mask, leading with isolation, and all the things that we have dialogued about today. And I would love to have you there with us. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Don't forget to join us this month for our leadership training. You can register you and your team at rockygarza.com/confidence.